Hello everyone, how are you doing today? Welcome to the video series on interesting topics of modern Python programming. And in this video, I am going to talk about multiple inheritance in Python with respect to a single function that is called underscore underscore init underscore underscore. You might be wondering that why I am dedicating complete video on this one function. I believe by the end of this video, you will get your answer. So this is the second video on inheritance. If you haven't yet seen my first video on inheritance, I will highly recommend you to go ahead and see this card. Okay. Now let's go ahead and understand multiple inheritance with respect to init function. Okay. So we all know why we use inheritance for reusability purpose. Now before I go ahead, just one suggestion from a programmer to the programmers. Before using multiple inheritance, just try to understand and try to judge the situation and come to a conclusion whether you really need it. If not, don't use it. There are other ways to achieve the reusability of the code. So before doing multiple inheritance, think at least 2 to 3 times whether you really need it. If yes, then only proceed ahead with multiple inheritance. So with this statement, let me proceed ahead and show you how multiple inheritance works and what we need to take care while using it. So we use inheritance for reusability. We want to reuse the code, right? So let's talk about an example where I am creating a class called state, and in the init function I am just doing a small print and I am creating a variable called state first, and in that variable I am printing or I am assigning main state. Okay, and I am creating a derived state called happy state. Okay, in the init function I am writing init of happy state, creating a variable. That all thing is fine, but in the normal inheritance in Python, unlike other programming languages, you have to explicitly call init of base class. It will not do it automatically for you. So in here you have to call super init. Okay, when you call it and then you create the instance of a class, you get the init function of both happy state as well as state gets called. If you don't do it, the init function of base class will not get called. So this is important and simple to do in case of single inheritance. Now let's talk about multiple inheritance. So I have again created a class state which is the replica of the earlier state class. Okay. At this moment of time, I am also creating a class called event. So what it does, nothing, it also have a init function creating a variable and printing something so that we know that this init is called. Okay. So I have created two classes, state and event, and I am creating a happy state class which is derived from both state as well as event. Okay. Now, as we know from the earlier example that we have to call base init to be able to get it called. So in here I am doing super init. Now in this case there are two super or two base classes, right? State and event. What will happen if I go ahead and create the instance of this happy state? What do you think? Let's see. It calls the init function, this is happy state, must be called, and then it calls the init of state, which is fine, but what happened to event? You know, ideally when you want to do multiple inheritance, you are deriving from two classes or more than two classes, you want to reuse the functionality available in those classes, right? But in this case, if I am not able to call the init of event, how will I use it? That's a big question. And the even bigger thing is that if you do this, you will not get any error, right? There will not be any error message which says that you didn't call an init of event, right? Your code will just go ahead and run. So you have to be careful about understanding this and making sure that you know all the base init is called. Now you know there is a problem. We can't just do it with super. What if I call this super init 2 times? You might be thinking something like this, right? It will still call init of state. It will not go ahead and start calling event or next in line. Okay, so this is not gonna solve this problem. We have to do something more and something explicitly. So what we can do is that while creating happy state, we will print init of happy state, and in here we will explicitly call init of all the base. In here I am calling init of state and init of event. Okay. Now if I go ahead and call happy state, I can see that init of both state and event is being called. Okay, so this is one way of solving the problem, where I make sure that base class inits are being called. So if there are more than two base classes, we will have to write explicit init for each one of them. Now there is another way of doing it. Another way of doing it involves super keyword, right? The familiar keyword which we have used earlier. So in this case, what we will do is that we will create our happy state. In here, we will do super init, which is the normal super init, which will make sure that it calls state, the first in line base init. But in the next case, we will have to call super by providing the state init and self init, but it will make sure that it will delegate the self call to the next in line. So this line will make sure that event init gets called, and if I create the instance of this class, you can see that state is also got called, event is also got called. I mean the init function of both these classes got called. So every time in this case, what you will have to do is that this is the first super, it will call the first in line the base class init. Next onwards, you will have to specify the state to the next init, so that next in line init gets called, and this is how the chain will work. Okay, now you might feel that calling it explicitly is easy and simple, maybe, but if you use super, you will be able to use dependency injection. So if you are not aware of dependency injection, think of it as if I replace this state and event class with mock classes, right? So in that cases, super will be able to call those mock classes, but in here I will not be able to call these mock classes. So most of the Python code uses this format. Okay. Now let's assume that what if we have three base classes. So I have created a first class, second class and third class. This is my combined class which inherits from first, second and third. And to make sure that each and everyone's init gets called, what we need to do is that this is the first line which will call first init. Then we will have to call first self init, which will delegate this to the second one. Then we will have to call super second self init, which will delegate it to the third one. And if we go ahead and create an instance, you can see that all three init function gets called, and that is something you need to take care of, because Python you need to make things explicit. Okay, now you know that we can do this and call all the init functions. Now this is a bit tedious and you have to remember everything and you can easily miss out things. What if you don't want to do this and you want that as long as I am calling this, all the base classes, no matter how many of them are there, should get called automatically. This can only be done if the base classes code you can change. Okay, or if the base classes code is written as I'm gonna show you now. So what happens that in the first class, I will do super init blindly, even in the second, even in the third. What I'm trying to do is that I'm doing this super init in all classes, and then if I am derived from first and second and I just say super init, this thing will make sure that all the corresponding init functions gets called. And if I put in third over here, you can see that all the init functions of all the base classes are called. So this can happen, this can work only and only if this line is there in all the base classes from which you are deriving your class. Okay. Now hold on. Things doesn't finish over here. There is something more. I have already shown you this example. How to handle parameters, and this is very important because most of the time you are going to pass parameters in your init function, right? So let's see the way we are doing it earlier, right? So I'm creating the first, second and third class, and the difference is that I'm passing a parameter called first, second and third in the init. Okay, then how will I use the combine function to pass the parameters? So I have created class combine first and second. Just for simplicity purpose I am deriving it only from two classes, and in the init I am getting the parameter first and second, and I am doing super init. I am calling first and second. How it will work? What do you think? Let's create the instance of this class. You can see there is some error, right? Because it says that init takes two positional argument but three were given. Remember, we are passing two parameters in init function, but in here each init takes only one parameter, right? That's what this error is complaining about, which includes self anyway. So this cannot work. You cannot say that, pass first to first super, pass second to second super. This cannot happen automatically. But there is a way around this, and most of the Python code which are using multiple inheritance and passing parameters, they are using this way. Okay. So the way which I am trying to tell you is using keyword arguments. So the way which we will be using to overcome this is quarks or keyword arguments. If you are not aware of args and quarks in Python, I will highly recommend you to see this video, this card video. I have explained what are args and quarks in Python and how you can make use of them. So what I am trying to do is that in the first class, I am taking the first parameter which I need to assign in this class, but I am also taking keyword arguments, which means that I can take any number of named arguments. Okay. Same thing I am doing for second, same thing I am doing for third one. Okay. So basically the parameter which I want to use, I am using that, and I am calling super and passing the keyword arguments. So if the keyword arguments are coming with this particular parameter, I am using this parameter and passing the keyword arguments. Okay, same thing for third. Now let's see the class combine first and second. In the init, I am saying self first and second. I am representing it as f and s. In the super init, I am creating a named argument or keyword argument. First equal to f, second equal to s, which means that in here, while creating the instance of the class, I am passing first and second. Okay, so let me create this class and I am calling first and second. You can see that all three init function gets called, and c dot first will contain first, c dot second will contain second. Okay, even it doesn't matter if you change the second at the first place, the sequence doesn't matter. And even when I go ahead and do this, you can see that the output remains same because it is based on keyword argument. No matter second gets called first or first gets called first, it just used its own named argument and pass everything as keyword arguments. Okay, similarly we can use with all three base classes, and I have added one more parameter called first, second, third, and in the combined I am passing first, second, third, and I am creating a keyword argument over here. And if I do that, you can see that first all the init gets called. First will contain first, second will contain second, third will contain third. Okay, so this is the most appropriate way of using multiple inheritance with keyword arguments with super, so that you can get rid of any problems that might come because of multiple inheritance. So people, I hope now you totally understand why I have created one complete video on this specific init function with multiple inheritance. So that's all for this particular video. I will upload this Jupyter notebook in my GitHub page. Thanks a lot people. Thanks for watching. Till the next time we meet. Good day, goodbye. You take care.